let's start, okay? The album, it was announced on Wednesday. How does it feel to finally talk about your third baby now? This is what I mean.
It feels, I just feel mad blessed, and I feel, how do I explain it? It's like, yeah, it feels mad different this time as well. I feel like, yeah, the past 3 years since I dropped Heavy as the Head, yeah, it just feels different. Like even doing this again, like I feel like there's an energy that I'm doing it with, like where it's like I feel like I'm a bit older now. You know what I mean? I'm not old. You know what I mean? And I'm not like, I'm also not. Sometimes I talk and it sounds mad profound and mad mature, and I'm like, that is definitely one side of me. The other side is definitely still a childish idiot. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, this time around just feels like, yeah, man, it feels I'm a lot calmer, a lot more peace, and yeah, that's thanks to God. Yeah.
Amen. That's so nice to hear, man. And obviously, we've been screaming for a new album. Do you hear the screams, or do you manage to filter it?
I filter it.
You filter it, yeah.
I probably hear it from my cousin Jermaine more than like a couple years ago, like he was like, "Yo, cuz, like, we need you," kind of thing. Yeah, but I don't really hear it. I don't hear much. Yeah.
What's the message behind this project, the record?
It's just what I mean, without sounding like, no pun intended, but it's just what I mean. So even like the title, This Is What I Mean, it's something I always say in life. Like Flips actually suggested it, because I always say like, this is what I mean. Like if I'm complaining about something, this is what I mean. Like blah blah. and I say it all the time, like, 'cause then it's a running joke with my team, like. And Flips was like, "Fam, you might as well name the album that." And then when I thought of it, I was like, where I'm at right now as a man, I was like, I'm at such a place where it's like, I just want to say what I mean. Like, I don't want to... So even if you think of like Gang Signs and Prayer, Heavy as the Head, like there was always like juxtapositions and me presenting. Whereas now I'm just like, yo, this is what I mean. Like in every sense, in terms of how I feel, my art, like how I approach art, how I approach music. Like even the different styles to me, the different emotions, the different feelings that I lean on to make music. Like, this is just what I mean, like, in the purest sense, so, yeah.
We know you recorded bits from the album on a secluded island in the UK, and you brought producers, you brought musicians, artists, loads of just like creative minds. What was that process like for you? And do you have any, memories or experiences, like sweet ones, that you can share
that was one of the most, if not the most, like, beautiful, spiritual, just coming together I've ever been involved in. It was really, it was a very, like, it was one of those things you kind of had to be there. You know, like, as in, even if I describe it, I won't really do it justice, but it was like my favourite musicians, my favourite producers, my favourite artists, just in this big house, like, with different rooms, whereas, like, you might have Casa on the top floor, like, making music, and then you got Jacob Collier in the room over there. Like, it was very, like, surreal. But then when you marry that with the fact that it wasn't just musicians, these were, like, we became family on that trip. Like, it's my brothers and my sisters, and yeah, man, we'll go play football, and then we'll come back, and then even we'll have breakfast together, and we'll pray together at breakfast, and then Twin would say, like, think of a song. Everyone has to write down a song on a piece of paper, a song that reminds you of love, and then everyone's different versions of it, and then we plug it into the aux, and everyone plays the music, and it was just such a beautiful, man.
Beautiful.
No, it was really, as in, I can't even, any way I describe it will be an injustice. Like, it was very, very beautiful and moving, and like, yeah, man, and we made phenomenal music on top of that, like, and that was just a byproduct. That was a byproduct of what was happening. They weren't even like, we're making rhythms today. Like, it was just like, we're feeling today, and we're like laughing today, and we're smiling today, and then, there's young Tendai, who's one of the greatest musicians on the planet, and he's gonna make some music, and then we're gonna come in the room, and P2J is gonna pull up, and it was just mad. It was mad. Yeah, it was beautiful, man. It was beautiful.
The way me and Shayna play Pressure, Tendai song.
Yeah. Tendai's a bad boy. That you is like, and I don't even call him a you in the patronising way of like that you, but as in, he's a kid, like, and he was a massive part of this album, and he is phenomenal. He is like a brilliant mind. He's a gifted writer. He's a gifted vocalist, gifted musician. He engineers, he produces. He's like, he's just like a little prodigy genius, like as in you can't even box him. He's an alien. Like yeah. You put 10 hours on the top floor, and if you leave him for a couple hours and you come back, he's just made something. It's like, bro, you're just a madman. Like yeah. So big up Tendai, man. He's a G.
We got to talk about the music video. Mel made me do it, right? When this video dropped here, I feel like my phone was pinging from so many different angles. Everyone said, this is, oh, I'm going to cry. Oh, all the group chats. I think I even messaged our group chat. The moment for me, when I say Jose Mourinho, I said, nah. I said, I'm putting my phone down. I can't actually take this in. Talk to me about the video, how it all came together. How did everyone keep it a secret?
Yeah.
Well, where do you start? It was it took about, I want to say 9 months, 8 months. And firstly, big shout out to Calvador, because he's the director, and he, as you can see, he done a phenomenal job, and he really delivered. And Jackie as well from my team, and Nicola from my team as well. Like it was the coming together of all our ideas and all our minds, and yeah, we really pushed and challenged each other, like in every way, shape or form. So the initial idea was. The initial idea was, I was like, okay, it's my first single and it's my first video coming back, and I was like, I just want it to reflect like my life for the past 3 years, which isn't. It's my life for the past 3 years is family, joy, and peace. That's how I describe it. Like, so even like the scene with me and my family in the kitchen, like that, I was like, I just want it to be a true representation of like where I'm at, because even I'm not angry, like, you know, like I've dropped music and it's like I'm gonna bad up the game and I'm gonna, and I was like, I don't feel like that. I feel that, so even if you hear on the rhythm, like even when I'm spitting, you can hear I'm smiling, like we're having fun, like even my approach to the song, like I was just rapping and having fun. So I just wanted the video to reflect that. That was the initial idea, that was the crux of it, and then it just developed and developed and developed, and it was like, yo, like if you hear the original ideas, we weren't able to achieve all of them, but we achieved what we was meant to achieve. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, it was a long 9 months of hard work and repetitive shooting, and then we had the video, and I wasn't too happy with it, so we had to do another 2 days of shooting. So there's a lot of stuff that was in the video that got taken out, and yeah, it was just a lot, and we really challenged each other, and that's what I think great art does. Like, as in, like, Calvador is a G, like he absolutely killed it. Jackie, Nicola, Jermaine as well, Bra as well, and we was just like, yeah, man, it was like, yeah, it was a coming together of great minds to like achieve something. So
glad you left the part with Mel in it.
Of course, and of course, and Mel. So even Mel, like. If anyone who knows Mel, she's iconic, and I always say the Mel that everyone knows is the Mel that she is. She is as iconic as you see, like the iconic Mel that everyone sees, and just she is that person in real time. Like, as in, Mel is a walking. Her one-liners, her banter, her how she moves, how she walks into a room, like, as in, it's like you are iconic, like, and she's that will gas her up as well. Like, she is, like, so. Yeah, I think when I said it in the lyric, and we just stepped real clean and say Mel made me do it, it just felt fitting. I was like, nah, that's the. Yeah, and even that, like, I don't know, like, I was like, that's my sis, innit? Like, Mel made, like, whenever people see me and I'm looking half good, do you know what I mean? I'm like, anytime you see me looking half good, it had to have been Mel. Like, if you see me in what I want to wear, we're not that way, you know what I mean? So I was like, yeah, like, even like this part of my journey, like, yeah, Mel made me do it, you know what I mean? Like, we're shining, yeah, man.
Nah, lovely.
I love it. Let's talk the new single that is out today, Hide and Seek. What's the inspiration behind this one? We heard about Mel let me do it. What's the inspiration behind this one?
Hide and Seek's just my story. Like, it's my story, man. Like, I feel like this whole album, when you hear the album, like, every single record on that album is a truth of mine, or a memory of mine, or a relationship of mine, or a friendship of mine, or a journey of mine, and it's just personified into a song. Like, as in, this album, even to the point where sometimes, like, I played it and I'm like, oh, this is a little bit, I wouldn't say not uncomfortable, because it's not as extreme as that, but it's like, yo, like, it's like opening your diary, or opening your thoughts, like conversations that you have with yourself, or things that you're going through yourself, and you've put it on wax. So then when you hear it, you're like, okay, that's existing in real time in the real world, you know what I mean? So hide and seek's just another extension of that where it's like, yeah, man, it's just my story.
And we've been saying it's been a little while since the last project.
Yeah.
Aside from music, what have you been on? What have you been doing? We were talking before. When I saw you on Sky Sports, I was like, yes, this is a guy that's enjoying his life. What have you been on, bro?
I've been chilling, man. I've been chilling. Like, that's the best way to put it. Like, even like I was saying to you guys before, like, yeah, like just past 3 years for me, I've been definitely focusing on like my relationship with God. Like I've like made that like a priority, like get closer to God and like try and be a greater man of God. I'm not the finished product. Like, so even sometimes when I stand on that, I always pray and say, God, give me the boldness to say it. Because sometimes there's like a, you know, like when you declare that in the world and then like I might slip up or someone might see a flaw and they say, rah, man of God, yeah, like, you know what I mean? So, but like that's what I'm trying to be, you know what I mean? Sometimes I fall short, but that's what I've been working on. I've been with my brothers, my family, my sisters. My team is like my family. Like that's what I was even talking to Bra about yesterday. My team, so Mel, Aisha, Bra, like I'm blessed that my team, the people I work with, are actually my best friends and my family. So that's been a journey that I've gone in the past 3 years. My dogs, who mean a lot to me, yeah, my boys mean a lot to me. Like they're my sons. Like I've been walking them as if you live in any 10-mile radius of Kingston, you would have seen me every day. I walk them twice a day, so they're a big part of my life. What else have I been doing? Making music. I've been chilling, yeah. And I've just been like, I've just been navigating life, but with God and with peace, which is different. Lovely. I feel like I've navigated life. I've always been under his covering, but you know, when you're aware of it, it's different to like when you're just kind of going through life, like, yeah, I love you, God. But when you're aware, okay, like, God, like, where are we going today? What am I doing? So that's how I would end up on a Sky Sports with my nephews. Like, as in, so I think there's been times in the past and everyone laughs at me because it will pop up and then it becomes a thing and I'm always like, this is jokes because I'm just navigating life and then some stuff happens. So like the F1, when I popped up at F1, audience with Adele, when I popped up there, Sky Sports, and all of these things are genuinely, you know, like as in someone would have said, yo, we can go F1. I'm like, oh, sick. Or Adele, audience, oh, yeah, cool. And we roll, like, you want to watch the United game out? Nephews were rolling. Like, I was with my nephews for like 2 weeks that time and that had the opportunity. I was like, you don't want to go to a game? Went there, go to the pitch side for them to take pictures. And they was with, they was all together in their United kits. And then Sky Sports ran over and was like, yo, do you want to get on? I was like, oh, right, now. They're like, yeah. I'm like, all right, cool. And my nephews are like, go. So I bring them on. And like, that's why I'm sweating as well, because I was flustered, like, raw. So yeah, I just thank God that like I've just been navigating life and, you know, it's brought me to this stage where I've made an album. And even the way the album was made was, it was a lot different this time around, man. It was like, we would go in the studio, we'd pray. Every session we'll pray. We'll ask God to come in the room, Holy Spirit come in the room, guide it, take control, to the point where there was never a time it felt like man's in the studio like, I need to make the album, man. It was always just so like, it was so, I don't want to say effortless because it took great effort, but it felt seamless. Seamless is probably the word, you know what I mean? So, yeah, man. And then one day I walked my dogs and then I writ all the tracks out and I was like, rah, man's got an album. And I called Jermaine. I was like, yo, you got an album. Like, do you know what I mean? So it was a very different process to the last two. So, yeah.
On Capital XTRA this month, is of course Black History Month, and we are doing music that made us. Now, Omar Howard, who does the evenings, had Lethal B on the show, and he said this about you.
Everyone say, another Power 2022. I'm just like, bro, I don't know, man. Like, I just feel like Stormzy should just take over it for me, man. I've been saying that anyone time when people ask me, Stormzy, because you have to be on it. So sorry, Storms, I'm throwing you under a bus. There can't be another Power unless Stormzy's on it.
Yeah, Bizzle, I got to respectfully decline, man. Do you know what it is? No one's listening, and that's I respectfully decline in full homage and respect to Bizzle and his legacy and what that rhythm is. As in, if I do a Power Part 3, it's never. I'm never chatting to the first Power. It's impossible. Like, as in, that is a timeless rhythm, and I couldn't do it justice. If I could, Biz, I would do it, but I can't, man. That's yeah, man. I'll leave that alone, bro. I'll leave that alone. I'll leave that to you.
Hey, you know when we've got Stormzy in the studio, it's only right we have some fun, innit, Shayna?
Only right. Now, Big Mac, your new tune, Hide and Seek, is out today. So we've got a game to play with you, and it's called When Stormzy Met.
Okay.
So we've got a few clips to play for you, and you just got to guess who it is that you're meeting in the clips, right?
No, I'm just doing the most. I already know what this is. Okay.
It's going to be fine. We'll help you if you need to. But clip number 1, here we go.
You are the greatest. Every time I listen to a new song of yours, I go on A to Z lyrics and I read it. And I was just like, bruv, it's a brilliant pen. You're too hard. You're so hard, it don't even matter. You're too hard.
Who's that?
That's Billie Eilish. That's Billie Eilish.
When Stormzy met Billie Eilish.
Dude, you know, that's like, if I have a couple, you know what I mean? That's a couple Hennies too much. But I love Billie. Like, I love Billie. Like, and I'm also happy that I do that as well, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm happy I do it because, like, I was even saying it the other day, like, yeah, artists mean a lot to me, man. Artists, actors, like, they mean a lot to me. Like, and when I see them, I'll never be too cool. I could never, like, even when I go to award shows, selfie galore, like, yo, like Ronan Keating, yo, cuz, like, let me get a pic, like, do you know what I mean? So anytime music resonates with me, I feel I have to let the people know. So as much as sometimes I hear it and I'm like, oh, you're doing the I do like that, yeah.
All right, we've got another clip for you.
Oh my God! Oh my God! I was watching you a little while ago.
Yeah.
Oh my God!
Oh yeah.
Get a picture.
Do you know who that is?
That was someone very excited to meet you.
Is that Gemma Collins?
Yeah.
Gemma Collins. She was lovely. She was lovely when I met her. That was, I remember that.
Okay, and we've got one more for you.
Which famous celebrity would you like to snog?
Oh, whoa.
What, Sharon?
That's the kids from my primary school.
Yeah.
Big
When
up.
Stormzy met the school
When
kids.
Stormzy met the school kids. Big up the school kids, man.
So as you said, album is dropping November. The new single is out right now. In today, this week, where you're at in your life, right? You've navigated your 20s. We're reaching the big 3 very soon. What are you proud of? Doesn't have to be the most, doesn't have to be, but what's in your mind right now that you're proud of today?
Oof. Of myself or just in general?
Yourself.
Ooh, that's a great question. What am I proud of? I'm proud of the growth I've made, like, spiritually, mentally, and emotionally. I'm proud of that. And it's not extremely. Oh, maybe it is. Maybe it is to some degrees. I'm always just a bit wary, you know. Sometimes of that, you know what I mean, of over stating it. But yeah, I'm proud of growth, whatever growth I've made between the last time I was making an album and this time. I'm just proud of whatever growth that is. However small or big it is, I'm proud that I know that there has been some sort of moving of the needle. I'm proud of that.
Some sort of, you know. It's been...
Yeah.
It's been great. It's been great.
Yeah.
And it's been amazing having you on the show today.
Thank you for having me.
So thank you for coming through. We can't wait for the album here at Capital XTRA. It's been a pleasure. And let's give it up for Stormzy.
Thank you so much. Appreciate you guys. Thank you, man. Thank you.